president here at Reading Area Community College, and it is an honor to welcome Governor Shapiro to our beautiful campus. I would also like to recognize and welcome my friend, Pennsylvania Secretary of Education, Dr. Khalid Mumin. There he is. Department Secretary and Commissioner of Post-Secondary Education, Dr. Kate Shaw. Senator Judy Schwank. Representative Johannes Pita Freitas. Our county commissioners, Chairman Christian Leinbach, Commissioner Rivera, and former Commissioner Kevin Barnhart. City of Reading Mayor Eddie Moran. And I'm not sure if President City Council Donna Reed made it. Oh, wonderful. Hi, Donna. Thank you for making it. And of course, my supportive board of trustees who are with us today, Ed Stock, past chair, Mike Toledo, and Larry Medaglia. And I hope I got everyone who's here today. Thank you. Also like to welcome the leadership from our local federation, 3173. Thank you for being here as well. During the past few months, I've been working closely with the governor's office and Deputy Secretary Dr. Kate Shaw. During our many conversations, we discussed how important it was and what a wonderful opportunity it would be if we could get the governor to visit Reading Area Community College, and here he is. We are so grateful. We look forward to supporting the governor's plan to increase investment in the Commonwealth's public colleges and universities, which would help expand affordable access to great programs like the ones we offer here at Reading Area Community College. This will allow us to continue building on the work we do for our students and for our community, providing opportunity and helping to close the regional workforce gap. Earlier today, I had the privilege to tour the campus with the governor to see the amazing work that is being done here at Reading Area Community College. I am thrilled to share that the education team and I just returned from San Antonio, Texas, where we were winners of the prestigious Bellwether. And that was for our early childhood education pathway model. So for those who are not familiar with community college world, realize that this award, we are nominated from a nationwide group of innovative community college programs that have a direct impact on improving the lives of students. For those outside of higher ed, winning this Bellwether is the equivalent to winning the Super Bowl. But unfortunately, even though she's from Berks County, Taylor Swift will not be joining us for this. But rest assured, we are still over the moon with the excitement at placing this award in our trophy case. Our early childhood education program is just one of many examples that RACC is making a difference in our community. As a proud Hispanic serving institution, and over 40% of our students being enrolled are first generation college students, and then 90% of our graduates stay and live here in Berks County. We just know the work that we do every single day makes such a difference for our community. To address the shortfall in qualified healthcare workers, the White's Healthcare Pavilion, where you are all standing today, when it is completely finished, will allow us to increase capacity for hallmark programs in registered nursing, respiratory care, medical lab technicians, and certified nursing aides. And provide space to add up to 11 new critically important new healthcare programs to accommodate the wait list of hundreds and hundreds of prospective students who wish to enroll in our programs. This year, our nursing graduates achieved a 100% pass rate. Positioning RACC as one of the region's leading educators of healthcare professionals. Our strong partnerships with local healthcare providers means our graduates immediately enter the workforce to care for the residents of our community. Our workforce training extends well beyond healthcare. Our workforce and continuing education programs we offer in business, engineering, manufacturing technology, information technology, public safety, and technical and training, which prepares our graduates to fill the jobs with the hundreds of businesses and industry partners that we work with across the Commonwealth. A phrase we often use here at RACC is start here, go anywhere. And that includes our dual enrollment programs with 17 local high schools and the career technical centers. Upon graduating from RACC, students can seamlessly transfer their credits to over 40 different colleges. But one of the agreements that we're most proud of is we have Kutztown University offering a bachelor's degree right here on RACC's campus in social work. So, strong The most important thing we say is the students aren't one of the reasons we're here. The students are the only reason we're here. And we will always remain committed to our 4 key hallmarks, which we believe are at the core of a comprehensive community college: access, opportunity, excellence, and hope. Thank you again, Governor Shapiro, for the visit today, and I hope when you leave, you'll know firsthand why faculty and staff and myself are always saying, hashtag
RACC proud.
There you go.
I get it. I want to welcome Senator Schwank to the podium. She has been an unstoppable force for higher education and a whole lot of other things in our state capitol, and a big reason why this building is being built as a state-of-the-art learning facility. Senator Judy Schwank.
Wow, that's impressive, getting introduced by the governor. Anyway, hello everyone. I'm so glad to be here today. And I'm always excited when I get to come to Reading Area Community College. Always something new, students to talk to, faculty to interface with, and of course Dr. Looney. She makes sure that we are aware of everything that's going on here on campus. And I'm also pleased to see, I saw him yesterday, but I'm glad to have him back here in his hometown. I called this his alma mater. Dr. Khalid Mumin, our Secretary of Education. So thank you, Dr. Mumin, for being here today. As the governor said, I'm a believer in public education. Every student deserves the opportunity to chase their dreams and pursue their happiness in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. I have to think that most Pennsylvanians, and certainly most Berks Countyans, would agree that we should be doing everything that we can in our power to support our students and help them achieve their goals, whatever those goals may be. Thanks to Governor Shapiro's bold leadership, what we have before us is a proposal to modernize higher education in Pennsylvania. And you know what? It's long overdue. I've had the great privilege of serving on the Board of Governors of the Pennsylvania State System of Higher Education, as we fondly call PASHE, since 2015. I am very, very aware of the challenges we face. It's no secret that the higher education landscape needs to change for the Commonwealth to thrive. We have to do everything that we can to meet the needs of students, of industry, of the economy. We're here to serve Pennsylvania, and that's what this is all about. Pennsylvania students carry the third most highest debt in the nation, and we rank, you'll see in the, some of the boards that the team has put up here, how low we rank in terms of our investment in higher education. And meanwhile, keep in mind that we're the 5th largest state in the United States. We should be doing better, and it's not sustainable. And I applaud the governor for making it clear that the trajectory that we're on isn't going to cut it. We can continue with the status quo and watch as Pennsylvania falls further behind, or we can set out to build a system that meets the needs not only of our workforce, but also the needs of our students and the communities we call home. We all thrive if we can get this right. And that's what this is all about for me. Making sure our students feel safe and welcome on campus, making sure that they have access to the courses and facilities that will prepare them for tomorrow, making sure that they see themselves in the professors who are teaching them, and that they're taught by folks who not only have technical expertise, but who want to see them succeed and achieve their goals. These students deserve to have all those things without taking on debt that makes other life goals like owning a home or starting a business feel unattainable. I see great things happening here at RACC all the time, and I believe in the promise of the students who have joined us here today. When I travel up Route 222 to Kutztown University, I see it there too. I know what public education has the power to do because I see it right here in my district every day. I've talked about some of our challenges. They're real. There's no doubt about that. Some of my colleagues have pointed to these challenges and said this is exactly why we shouldn't be making significant investments in higher education in Pennsylvania, that instead we should be cutting or reducing our input. As you can probably guess, I really disagree with them. I mentioned the statistic earlier, we're 5th largest state and ranked 49th in higher education funding. Despite that, look at what our community colleges and state system schools are capable of. They deliver for Pennsylvania students despite years of disinvestment. We could be doing better, couldn't we, Dr. Looney? So think about it for a moment. What if we worked together, and I mean everyone, to implement a bold vision like this for Pennsylvania higher education, this blueprint for higher education, and supported that vision with the funding needed to make transformative change and also keep our costs low. I'm a glass half full kind of person, and looking at what is possible rather than talking about why we can't do it is not the way I am. If we give this a shot, if we make these investments and meet the needs of students at an affordable price, then maybe students from other states will start looking at Pennsylvania as an option for their college education. Maybe those adults who are thinking about upskilling or improving in their careers will think this is the place to come back and start. And it can be seamless in the way that they can move among our community colleges as well as our PASHE system. I think we owe it to ourselves to give this a try. It'll be a lot of work and a long road is ahead. But I'm excited to get started. I look forward to partnering with the Shapiro administration to make this a reality. Governor, thank you. I do really think this is going to make a huge difference for us. I too was a county commissioner, and I understand the value of a community college. And I want to be sure that we continue to make that happen, but also make it work for our students so they can continue to move up. Thank you for doing this. And now I get to introduce you to one of these wonderful students who are actually making this dream come true for themselves, Jonathan Pensato. Jonathan, it's all yours.
Hi everyone, my name is Jonathan Pensato, and it's an honor to be here in front of all of you today. I'm a communications major on my second year at RACC, graduating this May, which is very exciting. Thank you. I came to RACC 2 years ago as a first-generation college student, and I've worked the entire time I've been studying here to pay for my tuition, which I'm very proud of. During my time at RACC, I have loved every minute of it, and take pride in being able to attend this school every single day. When the governor and the Secretary of Education come to town to visit a school that doesn't get enough recognition, it makes a buzz. And for you gentlemen, the consensus was very positive. And it's for a reason. You stand on the side of education, the side of human rights, and Governor Shapiro makes TikToks, which is pretty cool.
Did you see the one, the Beyonce one the other day?
Yeah, my professor yesterday, we did an analysis of it, and I'm not kidding. I have been a part of this community here at RACC in many forms, and wanted to highlight some of them. I got to be a part of the Something Rotten play, which was an incredibly grand show that pushed the boundaries of what our brand new theater department is able to achieve. In both of our shows here at the Miller Center, we played out to sold-out crowds, and we couldn't have been more proud of what the student body accomplished. I am also an officer in the 5-star rated Phi Theta Kappa Honors Program, which RACC is incredibly proud to have. We are an organization that has created change in the community, and to highlight this, I wanted to give the spotlight to one of our projects led by Yesenia Rivera. In this project, Opportunity House in RACC created a bridge to provide a second chance at higher education opportunities for its residents. This is a project amongst many others we've done this school year that we're extremely proud of. Lastly, I was selected as one of the representatives for Kamala Harris's visit here at RACC, which was an incredible honor and it meant a lot to our community. So, once I graduate from RACC in May, I plan to transfer to NYU or Yale to study international business and international affairs. RACC provided me with these opportunities of growth that would not have been possible without it, and I am incredibly grateful for that. So, now it is my privilege to introduce Dr. Khalid Mumin.
You do that just to show off.
No, and I'm going to put it back down. But good afternoon, everyone. I am Secretary Dr. Khalid Mumin, and I am absolutely thrilled to be here today because this place, this city, and this campus, Reading Area Community College, is very near and dear to my heart. I have stories after story after story that I will not get into today, but I'll tell you, there's lots of love and lots of promise here in the city of Reading. As you may know, I spent 7 years as the superintendent of Reading School District, and it felt good to see Red Knight downstairs with the Red Knight on his sweatshirt. Just felt like home. And those years were spent in close collaboration with local community, local legislators, and also our partners here at RACC. Reading School District is one of the most underfunded, resourced school districts in the Commonwealth. So it was imperative that we combined our forces with others to ensure students could leave high school ready for whatever their next step was. Whether that was attending a post-secondary institution, signing up for the military, or directly entering the workforce. RACC presents a high quality and affordable post-secondary option for learners, and that is something I came to value highly as a superintendent. Now as Secretary of Education, I see that value play out for students across Pennsylvania at our amazing colleges and universities. With Governor Shapiro's new blueprint for higher education, he intends to expand that opportunity to allow our post-secondary institutions to collaborate and innovate on behalf of the current and future learners. When considering a system change at such a large scale, it's critical there are as many voices at the table as possible, and that's exactly what we did while envisioning this blueprint. I would be remiss if I didn't thank the dozens of higher education leaders who lent us their thoughts, experiences, and expertise as we deliberated the conditions in which a system redesign would benefit most learners here in the Commonwealth and for the Commonwealth as a whole. The 69 dedicated education leaders, more than 30 lawmakers, and others we met with over the course of the past year, it is their voices, along with the voices of our union leaders, that are continuing to shape the blueprint as we develop it. For their participation and willingness to engage in this forward-thinking and historic endeavor, I sincerely thank them. And I also like to take a minute to give a shout out to AFT, which represents the hardworking faculty here at RACC. We look forward to continued collaboration with you as the blueprint moves from vision to reality. Quite simply, by giving learners the ability to chart their own course, we enable them to build their future on their own terms. By giving learners access to affordable post-secondary options aligned to workforce needs, I must say that again, post-secondary options aligned to workforce needs, we are providing them with infinite possibilities of success. And that's something that will better Pennsylvania and the nation and for generations to come. I'm so excited to be here today, and I must say, RACC is an example of what we're trying to build throughout the entire Commonwealth of Pennsylvania for our learners who are able to have on-ramps and off-ramps from post-secondary education into the workforce. So I thank you for allowing me to be here today. And it is my pleasure to introduce one of our RACC nursing students, Wilfred Peña-Raiguez, to come to the podium. Thank you.
Go get him. Do you want to do this squatting like you
I should,
did?
right. So I can just read my
There you go. There you go.
Okay, yeah, my name is Wilfred Peña, and I'm going to give my remarks in Spanish first, and then I'm going to say it in English. Okay, mi nombre es Wilfred, yo vengo de la República Dominicana. Yo vine a Estados Unidos como un jugador de béisbol profesional. Duré 10 años jugando para los Nacionales de Washington. No, thank you, Washington. Pero cuando ese sueño no se cumplió, yo decidí mudarme a Reading y una persona me dijo, mira, ya que tú no hablas inglés, tú podías ir a RACC y ellos te enseñan el inglés. Yo dije, pero yo no puedo, me da miedo. Y dice, no, ve que ellos tienen los mejores profesores, ellos te van a enseñar. So, una vez yo empecé en RACC, aprendí inglés casi en 2 años, me tomó un año y medio, 2 años. Cogí todos los ESL classes y después empecé a coger los prerequisitos para aplicar para la carrera de enfermería. Y ahí pues yo cogí mi licencia de enfermero y ahora mismo trabajo con Vallada Home Health Agency as a pediatric home health nurse. So I help all the kids when they lo llevan del hospital a sus casas con las tráqueas para que respiren y coman, so yo lo ayudo. So ahora mismo yo trabajé por 2 años y después regresé otra vez a RACC y ahora estoy terminando mi carrera de Registered Nurse. So en mayo ahora me gradúo de Registered Nurse y ya yo tengo un trabajo con el hospital de Reading. So yo estoy muy contento de donde RACC me ha llevado, porque sin RACC esto no hubiera podido ser posible, porque ellos tienen la persona correcta, la persona que nos guían, que nos enseñan y nos llevan por el buen camino, y si hace dinero, ellos te buscan el dinero donde sea. So, hasta dinero que uno paga del bolsillo, RACC trata de que uno no tenga que pagar nada. Yo estoy muy orgulloso de donde he llegado, pero sin RACC no hubiera sido posible. So now I'm going to say it in English. Okay, my journey in RACC started like a few years ago when I came from the Dominican Republic. So I came to the country to play baseball. So when I moved to Reading, my English was like I couldn't even talk. I couldn't have a conversation with anybody. So a friend of mine told me, like, go to RACC, and they're going to teach you English, and they're going to show you all the steps that you have to do so you can achieve your dream. Because I really wanted to, do something in life, feel proud with myself. So like, okay, I came to RACC, and I went to the office, and they guided me through the English classes. So I took all my ESL classes, and I got ready, so I applied for the nursing program. So the first license that I got here was the licensed practical nurse, the LPN. So right now I work with Vallada Home Health as a pediatric home care. So that's what I'm doing right now. So I feel very proud of that. So I took like 2 years off, and to save some money, and I came back, and now I'm getting my registered nurse license, my associate, yep. So I'm also very excited because I couldn't be able to do it without all the amazing people that work here. I can see Tracy right there. She's been with me since day one. She knows. Even we couldn't communicate at the beginning, and look at me now, talking in front of everybody. Yeah. So I'm very, very, very proud of myself and where RACC, all of them, Dr. Herr, Wanheimer, they are amazing people that they guide you through the entire process. It doesn't matter if you have money or not, they find that money for you. I remember at the beginning, I don't remember the last time that I paid $1 to be here. They always find you grant, scholarship, or even a student loan that I haven't started paying yet. I'll pay it later. So I'm so happy because I have Vallada, but I also have a job at the Reading Hospital. Like, they waiting for me to pass the NCLEX, which I hope to pass it very soon, because I also because I also graduated on May. So I'm very proud of what I have become, but everything hasn't been possible because of RACC. RACC is the way how you can get, through the journey and do everything. They facilitate you everything. Sorry, I'm getting when I get a little bit excited, my English goes, I'll fix it right now. So I'm very proud of myself, and I'm very proud to belong to RACC. RACC is the best place to be. So thank you very much. And now I'm pleased to introduce Governor Josh Shapiro.
Thank you, Wilfrey. And, I just want to state for the record, I was not booing Wilfrey, I was booing the Washington Nationals. Well, we're proud of you that your journey from Major League Baseball, here to Reading, here to RACC, and that you are learning the incredible skills you need to care for others. And you're an inspiration, man, for so many people. Thank you. And I want to say thank you to Jonathan for sharing his story. And I got to learn more about that class you took on my TikTok and find out what I can do to do it better. These are two really different students, but both incredibly inspiring, who are following two different paths to success. And both paths are made possible because of the outstanding offerings right here at Reading Area Community College. And I think it is a real testament to the depth and breadth of their offerings and the good work they do. You can have two incredible students like this represent the other students and many more that I got the chance to meet today, who are all really, really amazing. This is a fun place too. I got to play some video games, which was cool. I got to talk to students. One of the things that I enjoyed most was hearing about the pathways each took to their opportunities of success right here at RACC. Whether an instructor like Travis, who made stickers of himself. It's like a little weird that he made his own sticker. His wife Amanda's in nursing, and they're doing. Is it weird that like your husband made this thing?
They're all over.
Yeah, they're all over. And he was cool. Other than the Cowboys lanyard, he was just a joyful guy. But no, it's just so neat to see the way in which folks find this place, the way they flourish, and then the way they go out and they chart their course to success. Like I've said it before, and I'll say it again, there are many paths to success throughout our Commonwealth. And some students, like Wilfrey, well, they'll start by playing sports before they go to college, and some will graduate from RACC and they'll pursue a bachelor's degree. You heard Jonathan talk about that before. Jonathan, I'm hoping maybe we get you to a Pennsylvania school, not one of the others, but either way, you're going to chart your own course and you're going to be incredibly successful. Some are going to go right into the workforce, right? Some are going to go in the military. Some are going to go into a union apprenticeship, and some are going to pursue their own unique path forward. I think it's really important that all of us respect each of those paths, no matter what the individual chooses. There is no right door, there is no wrong door. One of the things I hate hearing is when someone will say, oh, well, college might not be right for you. Perhaps you should go and learn how to be a welder. Let me tell you something. We need welders, and we need folks to go to college. We need both, and we've got to make sure we respect both pathways. We've got to make sure that we show respect to all people. We need folks like Jonathan who are going to go study international business and communication, who are going to learn the lessons around the globe and then drive progress right back here at home. And we need people like Wilfrey to take care of our kids, our parents, our family members, and keep our communities healthy every single day. I believe every Pennsylvanian should have the freedom to chart their own course and the opportunity to succeed. So much of that is defined by what happens right here at RACC. We've got to make sure Pennsylvanians have that freedom to chart their own course throughout their entire lives. Not just when they leave high school and make a choice on where to go, but throughout their lives. They always have nurturing opportunities, that they always have pathways to go down. Those are the stories that you hear. It's Wilfrey's story. It's the stories that you hear when you walk through these halls, and it's incredibly special. I think it is really important that we view places like RACC as solutions as well to some of the pressing challenges that we have across our Commonwealth today. Listen, we don't have enough nurses today in Pennsylvania. Yet right here at RACC, they have 700 students on the wait list just to get into their nursing program. That's extraordinary. And it tells the story of what is possible if we invest in places like this, if we trust the great leaders here in order to do this work that benefits all of us. Yes, these individuals behind me will become nurses, and they'll be able to provide for themselves and their families. They're going to get fulfillment out of that. But you know what? We're all going to benefit because they decide to come to RACC and decide to be nurses and decide to go out and do this important work in our communities. The Commonwealth has invested $5 million in RACC to help them build this White's Healthcare Pavilion to help them meet that demand. And again, I want to thank Senator Schwank and her leadership for helping make sure that was possible. And while that investment is important, understand as state leaders, and I know the representative understands this as well, she's right there with me on this, we need to do more to help colleges like RACC get the resources that they need to serve our students, to train our nurses, and to make higher education accessible and affordable, no matter what you look like, where you come from, who you love, who you pray to, what language you speak. We need to make sure it is accessible for all. The senator alluded to this earlier, and I know the representative knows this as well. We have spent the last 30 years in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania disinvesting from higher education. Too many of our colleges and universities, they're really running on empty right now, and not enough students have affordable pathways through college and into good jobs. We've seen a decline in student population, 37% decline in our state's community colleges, not referring to RACC, 30% decline in our PASHE schools for students. And part of the reason for that is that Pennsylvania today ranks 49th in state investment in higher education. Just to be clear, you want to be number 1, not number 50. 49 is not good. We have not invested what we need to in higher education. And it should be unacceptable to everyone in this Commonwealth, everyone in a position of authority, Democrat and Republican. We need to do better than 49th. I am competitive as hell. I want to win. I want to be number 1. And the way we do that in this conversation is by investing more in creating more pathways to opportunity and success. We heard before about how RACC is preparing folks for the jobs that we need to fill that are going to benefit all of us today and tomorrow. Consider this for a moment. We have 61,000 more jobs in Pennsylvania right now that require a degree or a credential than we have workers who can fill those jobs. And I would point out that we have incredibly low unemployment. That means we need to train the workers today to do these jobs. And factor into that our aging population. Today in Pennsylvania, 1 out of every 4 Pennsylvanians is a senior. By 2030, it's going to be 1 out of every 3. We have got to train the workers today to do these jobs that we need done. And RACC is an example of the kind of place that's training the workers of today and tomorrow that we need to invest in them. I think Pennsylvanians deserve better than what they've gotten in our higher education system for too long. If we want people to stay here in Pennsylvania and move here from other states, well, we need a world-class, affordable, accessible education system to draw them in and to keep them here. And that is where my blueprint for higher education comes in. Senator Schwank alluded to it earlier. We're going to create opportunity for Pennsylvania students and families to drive economic progress and economic growth. I'm proud to be here with President Looney, who's just an extraordinary president. Sometimes you got to ask her how she went from horseback to being a college president. It's an incredible and inspiring story. She and her team are doing so much here, and this is an example. What's happening here in Berks County is an example for the rest of this Commonwealth. This college is rooted here in the Reading community, and I think there's real value in that, real value in the way Dr. Mumin spoke about the connectivity between the school district that he oversaw and the community college here and our community. Community matters. That's why my plan preserves local aspects of local leadership while uniting our community colleges and our PASHE institutions so that we can build on local strengths while improving collaboration and cooperation statewide. You are blessed to have 2 of your 3 county commissioners here, and I know your 3rd would like to be here as well, and they all agree that investing in the community college is important. And I agree with them that making sure they preserve local control here is critical to the final product that we're going to hopefully get when Republicans and Democrats come together and vote on this package for higher education. Gentlemen, I appreciate the way you've invested in this school and how much you clearly and so obviously care about it. Our blueprint for higher education is focused on building a higher education sector that allows us to compete and is grounded in this access and affordability, one that keeps young people in the Commonwealth, helps our students gain the skills that they need, from mechatronics to what they're learning in the game room. All of that is critically important if we are going to connect the dots between those folks who are growing up here in Pennsylvania and the jobs we need to fill today and tomorrow. We need to build on the great work that President Looney and her team are doing here to prepare them and the students for the jobs of today and tomorrow. Imagine what we could do if we unite our PASHE schools and our community colleges, as I've proposed, in an equal marriage, not one taking over the other, but an equal marriage, where our community college students are going to have the seamless ability to transfer credits if they want to go to a different Pennsylvania college or university, making their educational experience both accessible and affordable, and making it available to folks at any stage throughout their lives, so they can pursue their dreams right here in Pennsylvania, just like Wilfrey, and just like Jonathan, I hope, will when he returns to Pennsylvania after getting that advanced degree somewhere else. I know folks here are proud of what they've built. I could sense it, not just from your hashtag, but just from the vibe I got walking around campus. People are proud to go here, and this is going to be an example of how we can deliver more for our students, fill our critical workforce shortage, and create a real connection with the community. Look, I just want to say this in closing. I know that what I put forward in my plan for higher education, it is bold and it is aggressive. And I understand that sometimes being bold scares some folks who like the status quo. And some will say, we can't afford to do this right now. I would say we can't afford not to do this right now. It's not okay with me that we're 49th in the nation in higher education. We need to do better, and it shouldn't be okay for anyone to be okay with being 49th. I understand, and the senator and the representative know this well, that when the governor puts forth a plan, then that needs to be subject to analysis by the legislature. But hear me on this. Their analysis should not be used as an excuse for paralysis. Now is the time to act. A couple weeks ago, I shared my budget proposal, which included this historic funding for higher education, but it also included a whole bunch of other investments. Hear me on this. If the legislature were to adopt every single proposal that I put forth, and I know it'll be subject to some give and take, by the way, as it should be, but if the legislature were to adopt every single proposal I put forth, we would still have a surplus in our state government. Let me put a little finer point on that. Today in Harrisburg, lawmakers are sitting on a $14 billion surplus. That's $14 billion that was taken from the taxpayers of Pennsylvania and is sitting in some bank account back in our state capital. And if they invest every single thing I propose, we'll still have $11 billion in the surplus. Oh, and by the way, my budget proposal cuts taxes, it doesn't raise them. This comes on the heels of historic tax cuts for our seniors and in the expansion of our child care tax credit. Why am I telling you all this? I'm telling you this because we are in a unique position today to invest. And I believe now is the time to invest in higher education. We can do it in a fiscally responsible way. We can do it in a way that preserves a large surplus so we can be ready for the challenges of tomorrow. But if we want to compete again in Pennsylvania, we need to invest in higher education right now. I wanted to come here to RACC today to make the point about investment, but I also wanted to come here today to hold you all up as an example to the rest of the Commonwealth of how we need to do this, how we need to provide opportunity for folks, how we need to make sure the folks coming through here are benefiting all of us here in Pennsylvania, and how we can make sure everyone in Pennsylvania has the freedom to chart their own course and the opportunity to succeed. That's the story of RACC, and I'm proud to be here. Thank you all very, very much. Thank you. So I'm happy to take some questions from the media. I did promise the student newspaper the first question. So Jeff Cole, you're going to have to wait just 1 second. Is there a, is the, where's our student newspaper? Did you have a question for us? We can come back to you if you'd like. Would you like that? Okay.
Governor, there has been some analysis, right? There have been some initial hearings, and the complaints have been there are simply not enough details about this blueprint program, raising questions about whether you can get this thing done at any reasonable time.
We put forth a blueprint, an idea on how we could get folks to work together, how we could invest in higher education, how we could invest in students to bring down the cost of education so it's no more than $1,000 for someone median income or below across Pennsylvania per semester. And we've engaged with stakeholders from folks like President Looney and her cohorts across this Commonwealth, from our community colleges to Penn State as just examples. We've engaged with our union's stakeholders. We've engaged with students, and my team has engaged with over 30 lawmakers, from leaders on the relevant committees to the caucuses, Democrat and Republican, to those who have an interest or a say in this topic. I think what we're seeing across the board is a real recognition that we need to do something. And the reason why we put forth a blueprint and not dotting every I and every T is because we want folks to give their thoughts. We want to hear from them on how best to do this. What I would say to every lawmaker, Democrat and Republican, is are you okay being 49th in the nation? If so, then we should do nothing. But I'm not okay being 49th in the nation. This is our moment to invest. This is our moment to reform higher education and make it work for others. I couldn't be more proud to know that the people who are closest to it, like President Looney, our other presidents, our other academic leaders, they're on board with this because they've lived through the last 30 years of disinvestment. They want to see something change, and I'm grateful for their work, and I'm grateful for the leadership of Dr. Mumin and Dr. Shaw, who are helming this effort for us. Over the course of the next several weeks and months, we'll continue to engage with lawmakers, and we're going to get to a solution here that invests in our higher education institutions and makes it better here in the Commonwealth.
So you ready to go? I mean, you think you can get this done by June?
We're going to get it done.
You can get it done by June?
We're going to get it done.
You're going to get it done.
Thank you. Yes?
Will I get a student here, will I get scholarship support from your blueprint?
Absolutely. And this goes to the question of the details and the question from the gentleman from Fox 29 a moment ago. And by the way, you should take a moment to meet all these folks in the media, because this is what you get to do next, and they all do a great job asking questions and covering this. Our plan focuses on a few key pieces. Number one, brings our community colleges and our state system schools together so they can work together. They're not competing against one another. And it immediately infuses that new system, again, where community colleges and our state system schools are on equal footing, still with local control. It infuses them with an additional 15% in their funding. Why is that important? It's important to make sure that that new structure in these institutions are shored up so that they no longer face disinvestment, but they face real investment. As we get that set up, next year I'm going to come back to the legislature and ask for an unprecedented investment specifically in students to be able to cap the cost for any student median income or below at no more than $1,000 a semester for their instruction. It is really important that we both build the system and we make it accessible and affordable. The number of students I talk to across Pennsylvania say they wish they could go get that degree. They wish they could get that certification, but they can't because they can't afford it. That's unacceptable. So it's a two-step process, and that second step next year would directly benefit students here at RACC and elsewhere.
Governor, you announced the election threat task force today. A lot of agencies involved. Were they not talking to each other in that kind of formal sense already? And what does formalizing it do differently?
When I was Attorney General, I worked together with our law enforcement partners and election leaders to make sure that we had in 2020 a free and fair, safe and secure election where the will of the people here in Pennsylvania was protected. I said as governor I was going to continue to do that important work to make sure that our democracy is protected and to make sure that no matter who you go and vote for at the ballot box, that that vote is cast, it is counted, and that you are respected in the outcome of that election. I recognize that there are some that question that, but I will tell you that I have so much faith in the clerks of elections, in local leaders like our county commissioners who have dual roles in overseeing the election processes. And it is important to make sure that all of us are communicating, from law enforcement to election officials, state officials, county officials, and others. And I will tell you, I take my role as a steward of democracy quite seriously, which is why I said we'd continue that work and bring people together around that work. Protecting the right to vote is sacrosanct. It is one of the most important responsibilities I have as governor. I've tasked Al Schmidt, who is our Secretary of the Commonwealth, who himself, a man of great integrity, has overseen elections in the past in the city of Philadelphia. I would point out for those who don't keep track at home, I'm a Democratic governor. Al Schmidt, who oversees the Department of State, is a Republican official. We think it is important to note that because elections should not be, the administering of elections should not be partisan exercises. They're really nonpartisan. Certainly people have their own preferences and folks are entitled to have partisan viewpoints there, of course. But the administration of elections should be above reproach. And here in Pennsylvania, it was last time and it will be again as a result of our coordination at the local, state, and federal level. And we look forward to continuing this work and having Secretary Schmidt give regular updates on the progress that we're all making together.
But is this because it's 2024, that you said, I want to make sure that, based on what we saw in 2020, that this year we're going to be safeguarded up against?
I think it's the standard going forward. I also think given one of the candidates running for the highest office in the country who continues to lie about our elections, continues to attack the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, and others do too, that it is critically important for all of us to be prepared for that and to make sure that everyone can have faith in the elections, whoever their choice is for a particular office, to have faith in the system. I have faith in the system knowing that we ran a free and fair, safe and secure election in 2020. We will do so again in 2024. It requires preparation. It requires everybody working together, and that's the purpose of our task force at the state level.
Is there an active threat right now that you're concerned about as far as the election goes?
We're concerned about everything, as are county commissioners, as are other election administration officials, and we're all working together to make sure that voters can go and cast their ballots for whoever they wish and see the will of the people respected here in Pennsylvania.
Time for maybe one more.
Secretary Mumin, I believe, referred to the higher ed plan as the wet cement phase potentially yesterday. And what I want to ask you is this, to borrow that metaphor, is this going to be under construction, so to speak, by the end of the year, or do you think you're going to have the finished product and that the whole thing's going to be done?
We're working to get this done over the course of the next few months. Listen, we put a blueprint forward. We've identified a problem. We've identified a funding solution. We've identified the parameters of what could be a higher education solution, reform package and solution here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Had I come forth with every single detail, folks might have chipped away at those details. So instead we came forward with a blueprint that has involved the collaboration of dozens of lawmakers, of officials from our schools, officials from our workforce, who have said this is what we need in order to be successful here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Look, I am open to other ideas. I'm open to constructive feedback. And ultimately, a bill can't reach my desk unless it receives 102 votes in the House and 26 votes in the Senate. I expect lawmakers to put their imprimatur on this. I expect them to put their ideas into this. I also expect them to act. We cannot have so much analysis that we end up with paralysis. We need to act now. It is not okay to be 49th in the nation. We need everybody to put their best ideas forward. I think this is an area where we can find some bipartisan consensus and get it done. Okay? Thank you all so very much.
Good luck. Doc, before you leave, I want a picture.